Road leads. That was one of Clough's rare failures, but he's had plenty of success in this competition. 3 consecutive finals and 2 victories. He's another formidable side on the march this time, on the verge of honours in 4 competitions.
Clough held back on again towards Laws, and the shot.
Out to be for Nottingham Forest, 3rd in the league, and with 3 Wembley finals beckoning, tonight they could perhaps make their first booking for a trip to North London in the spring. It was the first leg of their Littlewoods Cup semi-final at home to Bristol City, a club which plummeted from Division 1 in 1980 to the 4th in 82. It was a welcome return to the big time for a club now in Division 3 as they took the field at the City Ground, Nottingham, watched there by our commentator Alan Parry.
Joe Jordan admits he's not match fit, having played only a handful of games all season, but with 2 strikers cup-tied, the player-manager had no option but to pick himself in this Bristol City lineup. It's a typical 3rd division mixture of experienced men who played at the highest level and youngsters just starting out on their professional careers. Left-back John Bailey has played in the League Cup final for Everton. Steve Gallier has played in all 4 divisions of the league for Wimbledon. Well, Nottingham Forest fans believe that this team will bring them their first trophy success for 9 years. They're unchanged despite their run of 10 successive wins being halted on Saturday, so still no place for England's Des Walker. Lee Chapman enjoyed a personal triumph here in the quarter-final, scoring 4 of Forest's 5 goals against Queen's Park Rangers. The referee, Terry Holbrook of Wolverhampton. So Bristol City kick off what's their 17th cup tie in all competitions this season, though it is in fact the first time they've met first division opposition. They certainly hope they won't suffer the same fate as their 3rd division colleagues Chester, who played Nottingham Forest in the 2nd round of this competition and were thrashed 10-0 on aggregate. Bristol City playing tonight incidentally, and hoping that Franz Carr is a little quieter than he has been in most matches this season. Bristol City playing in a chain strip of yellow jerseys and green shorts, and attacking from right to left. Nottingham Forest in their usual red. John Bailey, one of the better known players in the City lineup, taking no early risks. Won an FA Cup winners' medal and the League Championship medal in his time at Everton. Laws for Nottingham Forest. It's a fine ball, and Webb is onside. Cleared. Bristol City were expecting to have a lot of early pressure. They have come here not to defend, it's not their style, they're a footballing side, but they knew they'd be under the cosh from the kickoff. Calm play by Chris Honor, one of the youngsters in the side, the 20-year-old Bristol-born right back. Brian Clough using this opportunity to make his vocal presence felt before he goes off for his enforced journey to the stands. That was a dangerous ball, nearly broke for Chapman. Honor in a bit of trouble, and Newman got him out of it. But still the danger for Bristol City. It's Pearce now, and a cracking effort from Pearce. Bristol City playing themselves into problems then. It was a sloppy back pass in the build-up which enabled Pearce to get in that fine left-foot shot just over. Bristol City are certainly conceding a lot of room to Nottingham Forest and allowing them to come forward from their own half unchallenged. Hoping for mistakes like that by Webb. Here's Walsh. Again, Gavin in good space on the right, but Pearce, good defending, although he has to concede the corner. Just got a little too much weight on the header. So Bristol City gain their first corner. They'll be sending their tall central defenders forward here. Pender, the skipper, and Newman. and the youngster Marden, all inside the Nottingham Forest box. The corner's been taken. Playing for handball, play on, says the referee. And cleared by Wilson. Galliers. Bailey turns it in, dangerous one for Sutton, but he kept his eye on the ball all the way. Walsh. Forest have it back. And will try a quick counter-attack of their own. Parker just helping it on. Good ball by Clough to Chapman. This is Laws. Bad ball. Tender quickly in. And Wilson and Jordan having a battle of the elbows, and the free kick has gone against the player manager. Quarter of an hour gone, still no goals here at the City Ground, and that in itself something of an achievement for Bristol City, because they know that Nottingham Forest have had a formidable scoring record here. In fact, they've averaged 4 goals a game in their Littlewoods Cup home competitions. Hodge. Pearce. Clough felt he was pushed off the ball by Newman. The referee disagrees. Good climb by McLaren, but it only dropped to Wilson for Nottingham Forest, who finds Clough. Quickly in Newman. Law's header. Galliers. Now Bailey. Walsh was fouled. No question. Bailey with the free kick. Looking for Walsh. And finds him well. But the header into Forest territory. Cleared by Hodge, and then Carr was a little slow. But here's Chapman now for the home side. Good control. Webb tries to switch play, and Hodge deflects it on beautifully for Parker. Pearce on the overlap. Good play. Clough in the middle on mark here. And he finds him. A splendid save, and Chapman follows up, but the goal will not stand. 16 minutes gone, and the referee perfectly placed to rule out Chapman's follow-up. Superb build-up by Nottingham Forest. Pearce on the end of it. Stumbled, but still managed to get in the cross. And the first shot by Clough, Chapman was in an offside position when he followed in. Sheffield. Pearce, eager as ever to gallop into that space. Parker outside him. And plenty in the middle for the cross. Over Chapman's head. It hit Hodge on the head, actually. Now Hodge. Parker still there. Clough. Oh, lovely turn. But Newman was right behind him. Pearce. Clough again. Making room for himself superbly. And that was a fine effort. Well, amongst his many abilities is that of being able to turn when tightly marked, which he showed magnificently. Just got away from the defender, saw the far corner beckoning, and was very close to finding it. Walsh. And there's an extra man on the right here for Bristol City. In fact, Walsh chose to try and find Jordan, and that was probably the wrong option. In time, Forest have been given a free kick. A foul by Newman. Pearce will take it. Chapman. Clough wanting it set up then by Webb. It comes back in the end to Pearce. And that was good goalkeeping. Keith Watt must have seen that shot from Pearce coming very late along the ground and through a whole crowd of players. Did well to get down. Goalkeeper's nightmare with so many legs in front of you. Well struck, but well saved. Parker out on the left. Ooh. Oh. really. I don't think the Bristol City player had a clue where that was going. I think it was Gavin back there defending. And the ball came off his own ankle, and that's a corner. Good looking one as well, and the stretching, and the home crowd wanted a penalty, but that was an optimistic shout. Laws and towards Clough, but given away. McLaren. Walsh takes over. Galliers. Neat play again. Newman. It's a good long ball, and McLaren's on the end of it here, and he's got away from Sutton. The referee had no doubts that McLaren made a meal of that, and no penalty given, despite the City protests, as Chettle leads the counter-attack, and it's a good ball too, and danger here. Webb, Parker, headed clear by Walsh, and then Galliers, Chettle, Hodge, Webb again, Chapman forward, and the goalkeeper did well. Bristol City fans still debating the incident at the other end, and McLaren got himself away from his marker, took the ball down well on his chest. Sutton went for the ball there, and no penalty given. Chapman, what a fine header that was, because everybody was expecting the ball to clear him, or at least for him to loop it over to the far post, but he looked for the near post, and it almost paid off. Carr's cross. Good play by Chapman, rising well and twisting in the air. But this is Laws. Carr. And now Wilson. Chettle, so almost the whole of the back four involved in this move. Chettle tries the shot, and Woff just got a finger to it. Steve Chettle, who scored in the very first game of the season for Forest and hasn't scored since, coming forward from the centre-back position he prefers. And, well, if that was a fingertip, it was the slightest. Well up by Chapman, and Woff safely underneath it. Good sound game, Keith Woff, and Chapman always a problem, of course, when the ball's above the ground. A better player than a lot of people give him credit for on the ground as well. Five minutes to half-time. Have the third division team held out for the first 45 minutes of this tie? Well, here's Clough to give them another problem. Chapman. Good challenge by Honour. Gavin turns it on. Well won by Pearce. Webb. Clough won it back well and got a crack. It was an accident, actually, I think. McLaren went in hard on Clough then. Clough is such a competitive player. I mean, few forwards tackle as much as he does in a game. And he wasn't going to let that one go without trying to win it back, and got hurt in the process. Carr. Again, trying to tempt the two defenders towards him. Jordan. Straight to Chettle. Now Wilson. Carr. Oh yes, lovely trickery. Chapman with a header. Woff again, right behind it. Laws, and that's a Bristol City throw, so they've gained a few more precious seconds in their efforts to go off at half-time with a clean sheet. A big contingent of Bristol fans really getting behind them, and they feel that they've done the first part of a very difficult job well. And And there is the half-time whistle. So at the interval here, it's Nottingham Forest 0, Bristol City 0. An excellent first half performance by the third division side. Forest will have to do a lot better into the second half. They'll want to go to Ashton Gate for the second leg with a comfortable lead. So a fascinating second half in prospect here. Join us again after the break. Welcome back to the City Ground as Nottingham Forest in the red shirts and white shorts get the second half underway. Now attacking the goal to the left and finding third division Bristol City very stubborn opposition indeed in that first half. Remember, the second leg to come on a date still to be decided at Ashton Gate. And I think Bristol City will already have surprised a lot of people around the country by the way they've defended so well in this game. A lot of people were expecting a big score for Forest tonight. It could still come, of course. Gavin for Bristol City. Honor. And his manager will have a word with him about that, I'm sure. The 37-year-old leg's not really built to chase a hopeful ball like that. McLaren down the line. And Chettle lucky that the clearance came back to him. Nottingham Forest, remember, with that amazing 4 goals per game in their home ties in this competition so far this season. But as yet, no sign of a similar avalanche tonight. Bristol City, in fact, have got a very good away record this season in all competitions. They've only lost 7 out of 21 away matches in league and cup competitions. Bad mistake by Webb. Given away to Walsh. Now Jordan. Galliers is offside. The referee has allowed play to continue. Forest in possession. Now with Webb. Clough. Webb. Well, he hasn't looked like the Neil Webb that we all know. Just lost a bit of confidence. Certainly in front of goal. Forest still trying to persuade him to sign a new contract, of course. His present one expires at the end of this season. Now Bailey. Now Jordan. And he gets it back well from McLaren. And in again. Wilson for Forest. It's a lovely ball. Clough. And he did well. Parker. Chapman in the middle, wanted it high and gets it. Well, agonisingly close for Lee Chapman. He beat the goalkeeper in the air, but the header went wide. Lee Chapman, who scored 5 goals in this competition already this season. Forest joint top scorer in the Littlewoods Cup with Nigel Clough. Good header, but wide. Newman. Honor in trouble as Parker beat him to it. Down the line by Marden. Did it stay in? No, it didn't. Forest throw. Wilson. This is Chapman. Laws. Good play. Laws. Brilliant run. But still no way through all those Bristol City bodies. Can Carr find a chink in the armour? No. Pearce now. Clough, lovely return, Pearce, and the goalkeeper was perfectly placed. inspirational piece of play. Pearce, a lovely little ball by Clough, chipped over the wall. Pearce met it well, good save. But still Bristol City hold out. Theirs has been a defensive performance of real merit. Marden, Galliers, McLaren, Walsh free on the left. Walsh. He's beaten Laws. Jordan was there poised. And the ball breaks and it's a fine shot and it's in! Unbelievable! The youngster, Marden, has given Bristol City the lead. Who would have believed it? Bristol City have soaked up all the pressure and hit back to take the lead. And the scorer, the 19-year-old with just a handful of first-team games, Marden. Well, who says fairy tales don't come true? There's a Forest supporter on the pitch, incidentally, while we're seeing the replay of the goal here. And we hope that comes to nothing, as Marden struck that shot beautifully right-footed into the corner. Well, a year ago he was a YTS trainee. Paul Marden, who'd never scored a first-team goal before, has really made his particular fairy tale come true. What a story, and what a moment for the third division team. Fortunately, that silly fan has been frog-marched off the pitch by Nottingham Forest players, and the Bristol City contingent cannot believe what they've seen. Midway through this second half then, Nottingham Forest pour forward again, now chasing an equaliser. Laws, Hodge again, this is Carr. And finally makes the cross, Chapman's flick, away again, but it's not conclusive, and the goalkeeper followed the line of the ball all the way. Wilson's header. McLaren for Bristol City. Jordan running, a fresh spring in his step now, and he's won the free kick. Well, in Joe Jordan's long career as a player, he's experienced all the highs in the game. Now he's using his experience, along with that of John Bailey, to try and control this situation, keep his players calm. He knows that they've got a vital upper edge here. Bailey. Walsh. It's a good cross as well. Newman's on the far post, but Sutton, safe hands. Now Wilson. Clough. This is Carr. Good ball. Hans Carr's had a disappointing match. Wilson. He was fouled unquestionably by McLaren. Nottingham Forest have 20 minutes to do something about this astonishing scoreline. They're a goal down to third division Bristol City. And here's Laws. Back header by Webb. Cleared by Marden. Pearce with the shot, right-footed. Stronger on his left, of course, but he's been arguably Forest's finest player tonight, Stuart Pearce. Wilson clears his lines. Chapman, good header. Now Parker. And blocked again. It's going to be a corner. It came off Chris Honor. Again, Bristol City get it clear, but only as far as Pearce, and now Parker. Dangerous looking ball in. They back for Chettle. Blocked by Galliers. Laws. Nowhere to go, really. Although he found a route out. Carr. And still Bristol City bite and snap in the tackle and compete for every ball. Wilson. Webb finds some space, but not for long. Cleared by Gavin. Laws. Webb again. And that'll be a corner. It's almost one-way traffic towards that Bristol City goal. But they have the only statistic that matters, and that's the goal, the only one of the game. Forest 12th corner. Cleared by McLaren, but Laws is there to win it back. And yet another corner. 13th. I hope Bristol City aren't superstitious. Not that their players have had time to count. Good looking one. And a good clearance by Pender. Pearce wins it back, then Wilson turns it on, and Watt won it well in his foul. It was an unnecessarily late challenge by Chapman. The Bristol City players, led by their player manager Joe Jordan, furious. It was the goalkeeper's ball, really, that. And Chapman didn't duck out. You can't blame forwards for that, of course. But it was a bit dangerous. Jordan's going to be spoken to by referee Holbrook. He overstated his case, but it ends with a handshake. Lee Chapman makes his point. The ball came over the top here. Turned on by Wilson. Chapman went for it. It's the goalkeeper's ball. Well, Chapman really couldn't do much about it, looking at it from that angle. Gavin for Bristol City. 6 minutes to go. Chettle wins it back. Webb. Carr. Bailey denies him space again. On by Laws, but straight to Newman, who's played very well. Forest come forward yet again. This is Wilson. Free kick to Nottingham Forest. The foul on Webb. By the little man Galliers, who once played here and scored for Wimbledon in this very competition a few years ago. Just 5 minutes to go now. Laws. Webb turned it on. Chapman was in there. It is an own goal. What a tragedy. Pender turned the ball back towards his own goal, and into the corner it went. And with Bristol City looking as though they're going to hold on against all this pressure, the equaliser comes in the most unexpected and tragic way for them. To go, and you have to feel sorry for the third division team, though it has to be said, Forest pressure of course has merited some reward, but who would have guessed it would come like that? Forest 1, Bristol City 1. Parker. McLaren clears it to Jordan. Ono wins it well, and Jordan in there. But now Chettle. Chapman. Parker again. And McLaren trying to win it off him on the ground. And the ball comes to Carr, and Galliers gets it away. Now Webb. Laws into the space. The shot deflected away, but there's Hodge. And Bristol City happy to hack it anywhere. In it goes from Webb. Chapman's up there, and it comes to Parker. So a bit of relief as McLaren clears his lines. Gavin. Pearce wins it off him. Now McLaren for Bristol City, and Gavin. The ball really fizzing around from one team to the other, although it's mostly Forest possession. This is Clough. Laws in acres of space on the right. Good challenge on Webb by Galliers, but now Wilson comes all the way. Fine run, and again the ball hacked to safety. 90 minutes of normal time have been played. Forest look for a winner. Bristol City pray they can hold on as Newman clears his lines. This is Hodge. Wilson. On towards Clough. Chapman. Clough. Good tackle, but it comes to Webb. Chapman was there. And a fine save right on his line by Waugh. Webb twisting away from the defenders and turning that ball in. Chapman's header. Waugh saved it, and that proves to be the final action of the night. A remarkable scoreline at the City Ground. Nottingham Forest 1, Bristol City 1. And but for 4 minutes, Paul Martin's goal would have been the winner, but you can see by his reaction and that of the Bristol City players that they'll regard this as a victory. And quite rightly, poor John Pender, it was his own goal 4 minutes from time which let Nottingham Forest off the hook. But what really matters is that the second leg at Ashton Gate is alive and kicking, and down there in the West Country, Bristol City will believe they can achieve a miracle. It was their night in most ways, and especially for this 19-year-old. Final score at the City Ground as Paul Morden walks off to celebrate. Nottingham Forest 1, Bristol City 1.
Well, Paul, it goes without saying that must be the greatest moment of your short career so far. How did you feel when you saw that goal go in?
I didn't really know what to do. I just went in the back and I just stood there and I was just crowded by all my players. Couldn't do much else, and they fell on the floor, the weight of them.
Because the strange thing was you'd spent most of the game obviously in a defensive role, so to even be forward for the goal was quite something.
Yeah, I came here to mark Hodge. It's a very difficult job. He's a brilliant player, and there weren't much opportunity to get forward, but I don't hit many like that. Crikey, can't believe it.
Well, John Pender, everybody feels sorry when somebody scores an own goal. 4 minutes to go, and it looks as though you've got a fairy story result here. What happened there? Can you tell us what you were thinking about when you tried to clear that ball?
Oh, I think the ball came in. I think Chapman flicked it on, and it just dropped in between me and Clough. And I think if I'd have missed it, I think he would have got on the end of it. But I stuck my foot out, and it's rolled into the corner of the net. It's unfortunate.
One of those moments you want that proverbial hole in the ground to swallow you up, isn't it?
Yeah, you just got to get up and forget it then, didn't you?
they have got a good team. I must admit, it's a shame that they're not involved in Europe, because they would do England proud at the moment. They've got a team that everyone seems to be comfortable on the ball. They've got their shape and they stick to it, and they never panicked. And they put pressure on us in the right way. But I think by saying that about Forest, I think, you know, defensively we played well, and I think we deserve a wee bit of credit. But I think Forest, being a home team and as they were in the first division team, I think they played most of the football tonight.
So you're saying almost that you still think they're going to do it?
No, I certainly am not. No, but I think I think we get credit for defending, and they get credit for the way that they actually played some attractive football. But there's another game, and who knows? We've got them at home, and it's supposed to be an advantage. And it gives Bristol an opportunity to get a full house. It's many a year now since we've had that, and it's a great opportunity to bring a smashing club like Forest to the city of Bristol. And the support that we got tonight, it's going to be even more so. I think we had about 8,000, but when we get them at Bristol, we're going to have a smashing support. So that might work in our favour, but we'll need all the help we can get.
Yeah, good night.